To play an aggressive left, you need to be able to do 3 things. Those 3 things are two-handed backhand dinks, two-handed backhand attacks, and most importantly, out-of-the-air attacks, such as the poke, the flick, and the roll. If you can't, get your over to the right side where you belong, next to Chris Olsen. These are the shots that you have to play a modern, aggressive left side, and in this video, I'm going to show you the attacking patterns that work at the top level, focusing on spots to hit our aerial attacks and where to expect the opponent's returns. Backhands out of the air. There are good options and there are bad options, and I'm going to take you through all of them. First is a hard cross-court angle. The only time to really do this is when your opponents are back. I'd personally recommend the tomahawk because you can get a really nice angle doing it.
Should have challenged. Oh, DJ Young.
If your opponents are at the kitchen, there's no reason to hit a hard angle. If the ball is high enough, there are way better options available, and this is an extremely risky play. Cross-body attacks. In order to attack a backhand across the body of the player diagonal from you, the ball has to be high enough. If it's too low, there's no way to hit a cross-body attack hard enough and consistently enough. When it's high, however, the diagonal player should be looking to protect the middle, and you may be able to get the ball back away from them. The counterattack would likely come back to the player in front of them. Cross-court attack. Many people have an easier time generating pace when attacking cross-court. You can actually snap your wrist a bit more aggressively on the cross-court attack compared to the down the line. This would be a solid time to use the flick, and if you don't know the difference between a flick, a poke, and a roll, I'll leave the video link in the description. If you attack the body of the person diagonal from you, you need to make sure that you just absolutely crush that ball. You need to be able to beat them with the pace of that shot because players are generally going to be able to defend their body well enough. If you hit the cross-court body shot well enough, they're pretty much always going to be late on the ball and they're going to counter it back to your partner. Or you might be able to break their ankles altogether. But you're not going to be able to break their ankles if they're wearing Squairz shoes because when I worked with Squairz to design the XRZ pickleball shoe, we made sure to add extra material on the side of the shoe to increase lateral stability. The square toe design allows for a wider toe box so that your toes aren't all scrunched up. This helps with comfort, but also performance and balance. You can help support the channel by supporting Squairz and using this link down below. Cross-court jam. If you watched the middle attacks video, you probably remember that the next spot that we would choose is jamming up the person on the diagonal from us. While it works from the middle attack, I don't think it's a super high percentage attack from the backhand flick. The ball is coming at a different angle, and it's generally much easier for the player to unjam themselves because they have a bit more reaction time. If they connect on the forehand counter, your team is going to be at a massive disadvantage. Old reliable, the middle speed up. This is pretty much always the best play if your opponents leave it open.
And then just...
Wow, what a play.
However, if your opponents have half a brain, they're going to prioritize taking it away and forcing you to hit some of the more difficult and complex spots that we're talking about. If the cross-court person gets it with their forehand, they're likely going to take it back towards you.
And shown that he can play.
If the person in front of you gets it with their backhand, they're usually going to be able to take that ball towards your partner. Straight ahead backhand. Taking the ball at the person directly in front of you can be risky. If they're in a good position and the ball isn't quite high enough, the counterattacks can be deadly.
A concerted approach so far from both teams, but that's a...
If your opponent has a tendency to slide towards the sideline, attacking where their backhand was before they moved could be a good idea. But you need to know their propensity for sliding. If their body is moving to the left and you hit it to their right, their counterattack isn't going to have much power behind it. It'll likely come back towards your partner or through the middle. However, if they don't slide out of the way, they have options for their counterattack. I would only try this spot if you know that your opponent tends to slide. Straight ahead towards the body. Attacking a high backhand out of the air directly ahead of you is a great play, probably the most commonly hit attack.
I think...
If your opponent anticipates this location, they might drop down into the scorpion, so it's important not to hit this spot every single time and mix up some of these other locations. If they can catch a scorpion, their counterattack is going to be very hard and very hard to read. And if your attack isn't strong enough with pace, they have options as to where to hit. This location really depends on how much pace you can get on the attack. Again, this would most likely be a flick with pace or a sneaky poke. Straight ahead chicken wing. Attacking at the person in front of you's chicken wing is a good option as well. It's safe because you're not messing around with the sideline either.
Point.
Oh, that was wonderful.
There are two dangers with this spot. First, your opponent drops into that scorpion position, and second, that you miss your target and hit it right to their backhand. Under either circumstance, they're likely going to be able to hit a pretty good counterattack. If they don't, and you hit the chicken wing, it tends to come back in your own direction with not that much pace. Finally, we have down the line. Generally, the ball needs to be a little bit further out wide to be able to hit this target. If it's not, it's really hard to keep the ball in since it's going to be angling away from the court.
Wow.
We need a little bit of extra topspin on this ball in order to keep it in. So most of the time, this is going to be a roll rather than that poke or flick shot. Once you hit this shot, your opponent is going to be able to hit a forehand counter, and it's most likely going to be able to come back with pretty good pace. Most of the time, it comes back through the middle, so get ready to put that next ball away. And if you missed how to dictate from the middle, check out the previous video here. If you like this video as well, make sure to subscribe because we have part 3 coming, how to attack from the wings on this left side.